Welcome back, bowling fans. This week in the Draft League, week number 4. 7 days I was away from today's greatest athletes. And yes, we are back. Joe always laughs at that for some reason. We're in the house that Rab built. Yes, Highland Boulevard, Staten Island, New York. And we have a couple of special guests tonight. Famous Staten Island bowlers that you all know that don't need an introduction. But before we get to them, quick story. I'm at a wedding Saturday night in New Jersey. And a friend of mine, Allie, and Jimmy Ward got married. It was a girl we actually babysat for when she was 4 and 5, my wife and I. And now they're getting married. You know what that means? That means I'm getting old. And all of a sudden on the dance floor, I see someone very familiar. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick the Sedgehammer Segia is grinding on the dance floor. Draft League bowler. In fact, I filmed him. I'm putting that video in right now. Yes, that was the Sedgehammer showing his bowling form. A couple introductions. We don't have Matty K. Where is Matt K? Is he in the Middle East?
I think he's at the Wailing Wall. I heard he's at the Wailing Wall. That's what I heard.
Matt K. is not in Studio 710 tonight. But we have someone who is unbelievable in the bowling world. Yes, Tony the Hound Dog Everts on camera number 1. Camera number 2, the man could be a male model. Chico, just feast your eyes on this guy right here. Mr. Gorgeous, Kenny Soto. Last but not least, Brooklyn's own, Staten Island's own. He's got the purple on tonight. Joe Calandrillo, also known as, in the bowling world, Joe Cal. Joe, who do we have tonight?
Oh, well, Joe, thanks for the intro, Joe. As always, he noted I'm rocking the purple. I got my Lenten colors on a little bit early. But I want to say, a little shock the other night, we got the text from Joe B. that the Sedgehammer was at the wedding. Nick Segia, better known as the Tim Tebow of the Draft League. Tell me he don't look like Tim Tebow, right? Put a Gator helmet on him, let him run the option, it's Tim Tebow. God bless him. Can't beat youth. So tonight we have 2 very special guests. We have the guys that bring you the Staten Island Bowling Hall of Fame, along with the rest of their committee. But we got the guys that are the 1 and 1A of the whole shebang. We got Joe Labargo, John Chico, better known as Chico. Come on in, guys. Yeah, guys. We got 2 legends right here. Chico making his second appearance on the show. And Joe Labargo sporting the Yankee. Joe said, is it all right if I wear Yankee colors? Or so after last week, Joe had the A's and the Rays and the Astros. I think he had Minnesota Twins boxer shorts on. I'm not sure, but listen, Joe had to fly those anti-Yankee colors. But enough of the baseball. We want to talk bowling. So, guys, give us a little bit of who the inductees are this year at the Staten Island Bowling Hall of Fame Award to be held on November 17th. Is that right? Yes. November 17th. So who do we have going in?
All right. The biggest award that we offer is named after probably Staten Island's greatest bowler ever, Ben McNevich, who was the Rookie of the Year on the PBA when he was 48 years old. That goes to tell you something about his legacy as far as bowling goes. So that award is going to go to Joe Albanese, who's been around. You know, the man, he's been bowling his whole life. He continues to bowl now with the senior guys on Tuesday and Thursday mornings here. The second award, which is also on par with that, is named after 2 heavyweights in the women's, as far as we go with that. The Donna Zajac Gloria Simonson Memorial Award, and that's going to go to Linda Preziosa. Linda's been running the Friday night mixed league here for eons. She started with her dad way back in the day, and when he got too ill to run the league, she took over. She's been doing it ever since. Why don't let Joe have the.
Yeah, and then Joe will have the rest. Joe, tell us who else we got.
On the men's side, we have Mr. Mike King.
Oh, Mike King.
Mike the Ferryman King.
The ferryman.
We have
ferryman.
Kevin Rourke.
Oh.
And the one and only Fred Fritz Jensen.
Wow, I got to tell you, I'm going to say those are guys that I also golf with too. Two of the members of the Sean Hicks Golf Club. So these guys are multi-sport athletes, Joe. Hashtag athletes, hashtag legends going into the Hall of Fame. Who else we got, Joe?
On the female side, we have Ms. Ray Soldano for overall performance, one of the better women bowlers in her era. And somebody, I won't mention her name right now, but she did a lot of work as the president, the secretary of the Staten Island USBC, and she's got, from what Joe tells me, a very good-looking husband, Mr. Ken and her name is Joanne Soto.
Oh, well, don't we have a surprise there? Isn't that nice? Kenny, as a good friend, I just want to say I hope you come in that night dressed up and not with shorts and a T-shirt on to the Hall of Fame dinner, because it's gonna make you even better looking than you already are to come properly dressed with the proper attire. Is that right? Okay. So, John, tell us a little bit about how can the bowling community get to go to that wonderful gala that we have?
Well, the only thing you have to do is just send me money. You send me money, I can do anything anybody wants because money talks. You know what I'm saying? Now, what we do is I send out letters of commitment to all the bowlers. This is our 20th annual dinner. They actually gave me the reins when Rab Wilkinson unfortunately got sick back in 2007. And so the first year, 2008, I started running the dinner with the help of Joe, and we have a really, really good committee. And I'd like to give them kudos also. Joe Labargo is our historian secretary. Joe comes up with all the stuff that, up until like 1999, it was really hard unless you did a lot of research. And Joe was at the library constantly in Udorp looking back on old stuff in the admins. He'd come up with names, and then like the 30s, 40s, and 50s, none of us, we were too young for that stuff, but Joe came up with it, and then we did enough research, we recognized these bowlers over the years. So I give him a lot of credit for that. Also on the committee, we have Jimmy Elliott, who runs the New Year's Singles Classic, like 44 years, I believe. He's on the committee. Donnie Walters, famous guy on Staten Island for running tournaments. He's got his tournament coming up this year, his 43rd consecutive tournament. And on the distaff side, we have Lori McAuliffe, who works in the bowling center here, and Ro Quattrochi. I don't know what she does. I'm only kidding, Ro. I just, I think she goes tanning a lot, by the way. It's just so I know that. All right. And it's going to be a fun dinner. I put notices out in both bowling center showplace and here. I'll have a notification on the wall. And the dinner is nice. It's a 4-hour affair. It's an open bar for people 21 and over. And Johnny Petraglia, PBA legend, Hall of Famer. He's our guest speaker this year. And also we recognize the it's not the Staten Island Advanced High School All-Stars anymore because they got away from it. So we ran with it. Me and Joe decided that, it's a shame that the kids aren't recognized. So we decided to give out the awards. So what we do now is the kids are getting recognized, and all the high school all-stars, boys and girls, will also get an award at the dinner. It's a really nice time.
That's right.
And we also have this year a special inspirational award for Steve Hausman, who, as we know, is sight challenged, and we're gonna give him an award. And we also have the third Rab Wilkinson Award, Toast of the Town Award, that we're offering to Ms. B. Victor, who runs the Senior Olympics on Staten Island, and last week it was very successful.
She's 96 years old. 96 years old, still running the Senior Olympics. It's unbelievable, and it's about time that we finally recognize a woman with that passion. Yeah. Also, on top of that, I'll talk for Joe. Joe and his family have been running a bowl-a-thon in memory of his dad, Dom Labargo, the greatest lefty who ever bowled in Staten Island, bar none, because I was growing up and that guy was the legend. Joe's okay, but Don was the guy. So right now, this year, because they had such a successful run with their bowl-a-thon, they're giving out 4 $500 scholarships to junior bowlers. Also on top of that, we're giving out scholarships for 2 Port Richmond High School bowlers also in the name of Donna Zajac, who was a Port Richmond graduate. Unfortunately, she was a committee member. She passed away last year. So when that came about, Donnie Walters ran with it. He started running a little bit of tournaments here and there, and we raised enough money to give 2 $500 scholarships also.
That's right. That's all good stuff. All for the bowling community. That's what makes Staten Island bowling what it is. That's top notch. And before I bring Joe B back in for the last round of questions, come on in, Joe. I do want to say I have the honor and the pleasure of being the MC for these guys for the Staten Island Bowling Hall of Fame Awards dinner. So Kenny Soto, don't sit too close to the podium. I may have to pick on you.
And just remember, Joe, the pleasure is all yours.
Oh, that's right. Always is. Always is. Anything for bowling. Joe B?
Thank you, Joe. And thank you to you guys for honoring. Joe, come in here, Joe. Honoring all the great bowlers that I was lucky enough to know, to meet, to bowl against. Skip Albanese getting award. I mean, Joe and I have been teammates for the longest time. Mike King was on my team the night I bowled my first 300 back in 1994. And Kevin Rourke, I was there when Kevin Rourke first started. So obviously he accelerated past me to get to this to get to this point. We kind of both started at the same time. But 2 great bowlers, and the others that you mentioned, also fantastic bowlers. And I love that you guys are keeping it alive. And these guys take the lead for years. It's not easy. It's a lot of hard work. They don't get paid. It's all volunteer. And thank you for that.
Yeah, well, basically, me and Joe decided way back in the day that it was best to give back. And so what we try to do is the monies we take in, we give it right back. So we try to get as many scholarships as we can, because, these days college tuitions are through the roof. Just the kids' books alone are $500-600 a semester. So everything that we can raise as far as that goes, we try to help the kids out.
Great. That's great. And I like that you're doing that Advance All-Star, because growing up, Advance All-Stars was everything to all athletes in all the sports that we played, and it's good that they're recognized. But a couple of things that the bowling community wants to know from these 2 legends. One of them was, what is your favorite movie of all time? Joe Labargo, lefty.
Oh, that's a tough one. The Godfather, or how about Island of Lost Souls?
Very nice. Chico.
I have 2. Godfather's right up there. The Wizard of Oz.
I mean, that's a great movie. Now,
I knew a lot of people over the years with no brains and no heart.
we all do. So, another question that the community was interested in is, if you're not watching the Yankees, what are you watching on TV? Joe Labargo.
Not a whole lot.
History Channel?
No. That's not even history anymore.
What is it?
It's all
Fake news?
porn stars and all that. I'll watch something on ESPN, or maybe one of the local cable channels will have a show that I'm interested in watching.
All Alabama highlights from the week before?
I don't need highlights. They
Over here. Yankees, Alabama, Golden State Warriors, Roger Federer. He likes the underdogs. How about you? If you're not watching sports, what are we watching, John?
Well, actually, I watch the Mets and the Yankees. I'm a Yankee fan, but I love to root for the Mets because, I just love baseball. I'm a baseball junkie. MLB Network's on my TV. When I sit down and watch TV all day long, MLB channel's on.
Fair enough. We have a rare breed right here. Roots for both. Unlike me and Tony. Yeah, Tommy Donato. Tommy got the 2019 Agitator Award. I gave it up. I gave it up. We love you, Tom. Keep it going. Secretly, I'm behind you. Any superstitions, Joel?
Any superstitions? Not really. Not that I can think of. A little. Oh, butterflies.
What about them?
Butterflies. It's a person that's passed away, and
That's right. I believe in that.
and I.
Fair enough. Joe sees a butterfly. He thinks. How about you, John?
Superstitions, yeah, there's a lot. I played a lot of ball growing up. Sometimes I'm on a hitting streak. I same socks 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a row. I think 7 was my maximum for hitting games in a row. Yeah, all stuff like that. If I'm on a string of strikes, sit in the same spot. Don't talk to anybody that I didn't talk to previous to that and all that, just to lock in and focus and zone out to try to, give the best performance you can. I think a lot of athletes are like that because you get to
Believe it or not, I'm connecting with that, especially with the seating and the movement. It means nothing, but for some reason, if it doesn't work out, I don't have to blame what was I doing. You got to keep it consistent. Like I said last week, if I bowl real good, I'll try and find the same spot in the lot. If I bowl bad, I'll park different.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. Being that I'm such a baseball junkie, certain people have that too. Like Aaron Judge puts a piece of gum in his mouth, and if he makes out, he spits it out and then puts a new piece. If he gets a hit, then he keeps the same piece of gum in his mouth. Stuff like that.
Aaron Judge stories tonight, this week in the Draft League. Where are you going to find it? Guys, thank you for the honest answers. One last thing, I want you to stay, because we have the Lowe's Bowler of the Week. 76 bowlers in the league. This bowler came in number 76. The bottom. Hope he has a sense of humor.
He does. I worked with the guy for years.
Okay, Joe, don't give it away, Joe. Lowe's Bowler of the Week. Ronnie Ziegler, congratulations. 508, baby. Locked in. Ronnie was locked in. Joe, come on in and send us off. We got to practice. Danny Dunleavy's going to kill me.
Listen, some of us need practice, some of us don't. I need practice, but I'm going against Kenny Jr. subbing for who? Oh, boy. Yeah. Joe Bruno coming to the Hall of Fame dinner. Hope everybody turns out.
I just want to say something else about the dinner. It's really been a really fun event, and it's been run really well by a lot of people. A lot of people contribute, even the people in this room. It's a great night. We've had over 220 guests, and everyone says it was one of the best affairs they've ever been to. So if you can, I'll mention it one more time. It's November 17th. It's a Sunday evening, 6 to 10 p.m. at the Staten. We really have a great, fantastic time. Thank you.
We do. We do have a good time.
And this is the 20th anniversary dinner. And not too many people thought we would still be around 20 years. But here we are, and we're going better than ever.
20, like Billy Sims and Jorge Posada. 20. So, on that note, folks, as we always do, we're going to say we'll get you the guests for next week. On the weekend, John Wilders from the golf cart in Florida will do his reporting on who the guests will be. We're going to work on some folks and see who we can get. And as we always say, before we go, thanking these two fine gentlemen again for giving us their time tonight. Good night, good luck, God bless, and good bowling.